the important parts of managing the business is managing the receivables and getting those customer payments into the business as quickly as possible so that cash can be used to pay expenses. Now, QuickBooks has a couple of tools that can aid in that task. One is finance charges, where you can set up a certain schedule where QuickBooks will charge finance charges to those customers that are delinquent. Now, let's take a look at how we set that up in QuickBooks. I'm going to go to the Edit menu, to Preferences, then there's a section here for finance charges. I'm going to switch over to the Company Preferences tab. So because it's a company preference, you'll have to log in as the admin user in order to make and save changes here. Now you can see there's already some setup here in the QuickBooks sample file. The annual interest rate that's going to be charged to the customer is 10%. You may want more than that, but I'll leave it as is for now. Minimum finance charge, if QuickBooks just does the math, perhaps a small amount comes out to 50 cents or something, and it's not really worth the postage and the envelope and so forth if you're mailing to do that. So QuickBooks lets you create a minimum here. In this case, they have $5. Grace period, if you want to add that, sometimes that's a good idea. You can make an invoice due in net 30, but actually if you're hitting a 31-day month, they could get a finance charge before their actual month was, their first month was over. And assess finance charges on overdue finance charges. I find that most people make that selection, but you could uncheck that box if you wanted to. And calculate the charges from the due date or the invoice date. Generally, most people are using due date there. All right. And you know, there's one last one here. I don't know of anyone that checks this that wants a separate invoice in their file showing just the finance charges. So we will leave that one. I'll click OK. So here's what happens if, I'm going to click down here on this finance charge icon, but before I do that, let me look at a quick report. One good way to kind of get a feel for how your customers are doing, who's delinquent, how long are they delinquent, just how many of them are there out there. You can go to the Customer and Receivables selection of the Reports menu, and you can choose let's look at this AR Aging Summary Report. Gives me a list of my customers and how current or delinquent are they. You can see the different columns for the different number of days they might be overdue. And in the sample file, everybody is pretty current. We only have one customer down here at the bottom that's falling into one of these columns that would look like they were delinquent. So that's just for information purposes. When I want to actually create the finance charges, I click on the finance charge icon. And that one customer that we looked at on the report is here. There's his balance of $700. And QuickBooks calculates the finance charge that should be charged at $8.82. This window gives you the opportunity to decide, well, I won't charge them a finance charge after all, or I want to change the amount, make it more or less, whatever. You would have the option to do that here. Now, bear in mind that if you do that, QuickBooks is always looking from the due date of the invoice. So if I only charge $5.82, I knock $3 off of this amount, then the next time QuickBooks goes to charge finance charges, if the customer is still delinquent, it's going to add that $3 back in. So you're going to have a much larger amount next time, which might be fine, but just be aware of that $3 doesn't just disappear if you give them that break on the finance charge. QuickBooks is always looking all the way back to the due date of the invoice, calculating what the finance charge should be since then, and then deducting anything that is charged already. So I can click on Assess Finance Charge. And then if I go to that customer in the Customer Center, now where their balance was $700 before, Now it's $708.82, that $882, of course, being the finance charge. So you might give that a try. It might help get some of those customers to pay just a little quicker. I hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching.